So I decided to pick up this Spiderco Para Military II because I lost my Benchmade 940, which really sucks. I had a nice carbon fiber version of that knife. I really liked it, but you know, I lost it, and I started using my Kershaw Blur again, which this knife I've had for about 15 years, and it's very heavily used, as you can see from all the anodizing and stuff being worn off it, and it's definitely seen better days. The knife still works great. I love this thing. But I was kind of looking for something new. So I got looking around and I found this Spiderco Para Military II, and I really liked it. It checked a lot of boxes for me, and decided to pick one up. So what are the major pros of this knife that kind of pushed me over the edge to go ahead and purchase something like this versus another Benchmade 940 or a newer Kershaw Blur, for example? The first thing that really got me excited about this knife is just how thick that blade is. I mean, super thick. You compare it to like the Kershaw Blur and there's a clear difference. And this Kershaw Blur has been through hell and back, and there's no comparison. That Spiderco is significantly thicker. And I would consider the Kershaw Blur a thick knife blade at that. So you can just see this thing is built like a tank. No compromises there. And it's a nice thick belly with a full flat grind, which means it's going to be super sharp, coming down to a nice razor's edge there. And you're going to get a lot of regrinds out of this because of how deep the belly is. I did put this knife on my knife sharpness tester, and it scored a 170, which is great. That puts it into the razor blade category. So this is going to be a tough knife blade that can take a bunch of resharpenings. Not that it really needs to, since it's made of the S30V steel. It's got a pretty good reputation for edge retention. Speaking of edge retention, I'm working on a video where we take this knife and the Kershaw Blur and we sharpen them to multiple different edge angles to see which is the sharpest versus which is going to have the best edge retention. So if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on that upcoming video. The second thing that really turned me on to this knife is the compression lock on the back of this handle. One big benefit is, other than how well it locks up, is you don't have to have your hand in front of the knife blade when you're closing it. Not that I've really had any issue personally with that, but I think it is kind of a nice touch that you can just let it close by gravity without having your finger in the way. So I did like that. Also, this thing just locks up super tight. I mean, there's no up and down play, no side to side play. The locking mechanism that they're using here works really well. I have no concerns about this blade slipping, folding over, or anything like that. I mean, the compression lock mechanism works super well on this knife. The ergonomics of this knife are really good. It only weighs 3.6 ounces compared to the Kershaw blade, which weighs 3.9 ounces, and then a larger knife such as the Benchmade Barrage weighing at 5.05 ounces. So I mean, quite a lightweight knife for what you're getting. The blade is 3.4 inches long with a cutting length of just over 3 inches because the jimping takes a little bit of the blade length. Now this could be a downside if you're in an area that restricts knives over 3 inches long. This knife is not going to qualify. That's where the Spiderco Para 3 will come in. It's just under 3 inches and has a little bit smaller handle. I also like the flatness of these handle scales. It's a relatively good sized folding knife, but since it's relatively flat, it doesn't feel overly big in the palm of your hand. Unlike the Benchmade Barrage, where the handle scales are a little bit bulkier, making it feel a lot bigger in your hand than it needs to be. Another thing I really like is that it has jimping on top and bottom of the knife blade, so you can really choke up on the knife blade while you're working on hard to cut items. This gives you a little bit more leverage, making an already sharp knife feel even sharper. Another thing I really liked about this knife, it has full liners underneath the scales, unlike a few of its competitors that have partial liners that only extend through the locking mechanism of the knife. It's probably a bit of overkill, but it's still nice that Spiderco is able to get full liners into a knife that only weighs 3.6 ounces. I also like that the pocket clip can be placed on any of the 4 corners of the knife, the front, the back, or the left and right. There's holes on all 4 corners of the knife, so you can put the pocket clip where it's most comfortable for you to carry. Seriously, no concerns here. This knife's going to last longer than me, which that makes me feel kind of old saying, but this thing's seriously built like a tank. It's going to last a lifetime. So let's talk about the differences between this knife and the Spiderco Para 3, just because I know there's going to be some questions in the comments. This knife has a blade length of over 3 inches, where the Para 3 has a knife blade of just under 3 inches. So it's going to be legal in those states where you have that 3-inch blade restriction, which I'm not a big fan of, but if that's a rule that you have to abide by, the Para 3 is definitely going to be the choice for you. So another difference is the spider hole on the PM2 is bigger than the Para 3, which is going to be great if you are a gloved user or someone who just has bigger hands. The access hole for deploying is going to be a little bit bigger on the PM2 here. So another difference is on the PM2, the handle is going to be a little bit longer than the Para 3, which give you a little bit more leverage on things you're trying to cut compared to the Para 3, making this knife feel a little bit sharper and quick. So in case you can't tell, I really like this knife, but no honest review is complete without talking about a few of the cons or design improvements that could be made. The first is the knife is a little bit bulky when it's in its closed configuration. Now, I like the size of the knife when using it, but it seems like there's a lot of wasted space when you close this knife up. It's a lot bulkier than it really needs. This knife is not the most compact design. You can see how much room they left inside the handle there. When it's fully closed, this entire section here is just open air. So that's one downside of the knife is while it's a great knife built like a tank and it feels really good when it's fully open, it's a good size, they left a lot of room in the handle when it was fully closed. They definitely could have made this a more compact design. And you compare that to a similar sized knife blade like this Kershaw Blur here, you can see where you just have a lot smaller profile in the carry configuration. I think they could have been a little bit more efficient in the closed configuration package. Another con is when it's new, at least, the compression lock is a little bit sticky. It's not like it makes noise or anything, but it's not super buttery smooth either. It's got a little bit of a stick to it. I think it's something that'll probably get worked out as you use the knife, but it would be nice if on a brand new knife you didn't have a sticky lock. And my final comment on kind of the cons list is not really a con, but something just to be thoughtful of, is this knife is a big knife, guys. It's almost a 3.5 inch long blade. It's got a real thick blade, so it's a little bit flashy. This is probably something you're not going to be wanting to pull out in the lunchroom at Facebook or some tech company. Obviously, if you work in manufacturing or something, not going to be a problem. People will probably come over and say, "Oh, cool knife, can I check it out?" But if you're in a we'll call it a not knife-friendly work environment, something like this might be a little bit loud. Something that might attract some unwanted attention. So just be mindful of your settings when you are carrying a larger knife like this. There may be a time and place where you want to use a little bit smaller knife and be more discreet. I hope you enjoyed this video today. If you did, hit that like button below. It definitely helps the channel out a lot. And if you're interested in learning about how edge angle affects sharpness or edge retention, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that video when I release it next week or two. Cheers.